In this video, I'm going to share 9 ideas of what to post on social media during the coronavirus outbreak. Let's get started. Hey guys, Angie with Gensler.com here, and as you know, we are in the midst of a global pandemic. And so I want to take a break from my 100 social media post ideas video series to bring you a special bonus episode to address what you can post on social media during the coronavirus outbreak. Now, sadly, businesses around the world are having to shut their doors and losing tons of money. And while things may look bleak right now for business owners, there is a silver lining to this situation that we're all in. And that is that consumers are spending hours on social media, so much more than they were able to when they were able to live their daily lives and go to work every day. Everyone's stuck inside right now, and they're spending an unprecedented amount of time online. And they are actively engaging with businesses on social media. So now is the perfect time to engage with consumers on social media, to provide them with value, offer them support, and build relationships with them so that once this whole thing has passed and we're able to go back to our daily lives, you have built a tribe of raving fans who are anxious to do business with you. And don't worry, creating social media posts can actually be really quick and easy. I promise you, I have tons of resources to help you out. So in this video, I want to share a few tips to help you navigate what to post during the coronavirus outbreak. And I also have 9 very specific ideas of what to post, along with some helpful examples to get those creative juices flowing. So let's get started. First, I want to share a couple tips of what not to do on social media right now during this situation. So the first thing you want to do is be very careful of the words that you use and the type of content that you are sharing on social media. For example, if you have very strong political opinions about how the government should be handling the coronavirus outbreak, keep those to your personal profile, or maybe just don't share them at all on social media to be extra safe. But if your business, your brand, does not typically talk about political issues on your business profile, now is not the time to start talking about political issues, particularly around the coronavirus, on your profile. Stay away from political opinions, judgments, or anything that might offend your followers. Also, if you are not following social distancing, do not post photos of yourself out and about in crowds, being active, and not staying at home. That is the best way to anger people right now and really kind of have people turn against you. There have been politicians and business owners that have received a lot of negative attention because of photos that they have posted out and about. So whether or not you're following the social distancing, whether or not you agree with it, just don't post anything of you out and about in public or around people besides your immediate family on your business profiles. Okay, so now that I've talked about what not to post, let's talk about what you should be posting on social media right now. I have 9 very specific ideas to share with you, so let's jump in. The first idea is a positive thought or quote. So if you followed me for a while and you've watched my other videos, you know that quotes do very well on social media. They get a lot of likes and a lot of shares, and they just bring an overall positive vibe when there is so much negativity on social media. So sharing something positive and uplifting, you can never go wrong. And that is particularly true right now as we are all facing the coronavirus situation around the world. So let me share a few examples of some positive thought or quote posts that you could make. So I put together a few different images that I plan to share over the next couple weeks on my Instagram channel. And this first one is a very simple image. It just says, "Everything will be okay." And I plan to post this with a really short status update offering a few words of encouragement for everyone to help bring a little brightness to the fears and the doubts that people may be feeling right now. This next example is more of kind of it's a little bit humorous, but also uplifting. So it says, "Our grandparents were called to war. We're being called to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. We can do this." So it brings a little bit of humor to it, but it also offers a little bit of perspective to help people realize, okay, yeah, I am really lucky right now. I can do this. And then the next one is a quote from Deepak Chopra, says, all great changes are preceded by chaos. And so again, with this image, I plan to share a very short status update when I post this to just provide a little bit of encouragement for people when they're feeling down and they're sitting at home, maybe feeling lonely, feeling discouraged and scared. So the 3 examples that I shared with you were all custom designed images to fit my branding and to speak directly to the situation that we are facing right now. But you don't have to go to that extra level of effort. In fact, you could just use any quote image that you have. Maybe you've purchased some image templates. In fact, I actually sell some pre-designed image templates on my website. So if you're interested in checking those out, just head to angiegensler.com/images. And there are a ton of quotes on there that will work for this post idea. Okay, let's move on to idea number 2, and that is a funny meme. Now, when you're posting something humorous about the situation you're facing, you're going to have to use your judgment about what you think would offend someone or not be offensive. So be really careful, be cognizant of that, but that doesn't mean that you can't bring any humor, you can't bring lightness to the situation. You can still address things, but without being seen as offensive or insensitive or rude. So let me show you a few examples of some posts that I personally feel like are funny, but do not cross the line to being offensive. Now, that is, of course, all based on your own opinions and your own judgment. So you may not agree with me. And again, this is up to you, your business, and your business identity. You're going to have to use your judgment on what makes sense for your brand voice. So the first example that I want to show you says, they said a mask and gloves were enough to go to the grocery store. They lied. Everybody else had clothes on. The next one is a COVID-19 hack. Struggling to force yourself to stay at home? Shave your eyebrows off. And then the last one is, reminder, 9 p.m. is when you should remove your day pajamas and put on your night pajamas. So as you can see, those examples are all very lighthearted. They give a little humor to the situation, but without crossing the line or sharing any judgments about what should or should not be done. They just bring a little bit of lightness to the situation that we are all facing right now. Okay, so let's move on to idea number 3, and that is questions. Now again, if you followed me for a while, you know that questions are the best way to increase engagement on social media. When you ask your followers questions, they feel compelled to respond. It gets those comments up there, increases your engagement, and now you can get better results overall on your social media content. So keep asking questions. They perform so well. So I have 3 different examples of questions that you could ask right now during the coronavirus outbreak. This first one is, when you look back on this time in our lives, what are some positive things you will remember? So try to bring some positivity to your post and get people thinking about, okay, what are the good things about this? Let's think about, what are we grateful for right now in this moment? And the next one is, what do you miss the most from life before coronavirus? So while that may seem kind of negative, it's actually going to get people thinking about, oh, what were the things that I absolutely loved about my life, and gets them dreaming and thinking hopeful for the future, right? And then this next one also has people thinking hopeful for the future. It's, what's the first thing you'll do once stay-at-home orders are lifted? Now, I know not everyone around the world is faced with stay-at-home orders, but a lot of us are. So if this applies to you, that would be a great question to ask. So you're welcome to try any of these 3 examples that I've shared with you, or come up with your own questions. If you have a really great question that you have asked your audience and it's gotten a good response, I would love to know. Please put it in the comments down below. Share it with the rest of us so that we can get some other great questions that we can ask to get engagement on our social media channels. Okay, let's move on to idea number 4, and that is an action you're taking. So as a business owner, you have likely taken some sort of action to address the coronavirus outbreak. Whether you have increased different cleaning habits, maybe you have just had to shut down entirely, whatever that may be, share that on social media with your audience. So let me show you a couple examples of an action you're taking post. So this first one comes from the Kansas City Zoo, and I love the image they created. It's very simple, it draws attention, and then in their status update, they are posting in detail the actions that they are taking in response to the outbreak. Now let's take a look at another example. This one comes from Kava. This is a restaurant that I absolutely love, and theirs is a little more detailed. Now, I do not recommend creating a post with this many words, in the actual image, but hey, it works, and it was probably a really easy image for them to create. So it looks like they just took what they emailed out all their customers, they turned it into an image and shared it on social media. And they are providing their followers and their audience with helpful information on the different steps that they're taking to protect their customers and to protect their employees right now. Okay, the next idea is number 5, and that is how to do business with you. Now, so many businesses have had to shut down completely or change the way that they're interacting with their customers that it's really important that you tell your customers how they can do business with you right now. Maybe you have had to go completely online. Let them know how to still engage with you. Maybe you've just totally shut your doors, but you plan to reopen at a certain date. Let your customers know that. Or maybe they can still do business with you, same as always. Let them know that as well. So let me show you a couple examples of some how to do business with you posts. This first one comes from my favorite restaurant in Kansas City. It's Summit Grill, and they have this really great image of a delicious looking breakfast. And in the status update, they're talking about brunch to go kits. How genius is that? So they are telling you exactly how to continue doing business with them. Let's take a look at another example. This one is on LinkedIn. It comes from Andrew McWhorter, and he shares a video, and this one actually probably took a lot more time to create because it's a very well produced video, and they're talking about how they used to have live events, but they had to make a pivot to now doing virtual workshops. And so they posted this as kind of a behind the scenes look video, but it actually was a really smart way to let their audience know that hey, while we still can't do our live in-person events, we're still doing virtual events. You can still engage with us. You can still do business with us virtually. So it was a really smart post for them to make. So that idea from Andrew McWhorter is actually the perfect segue to my next idea, and that is number 6, behind the scenes. The way that businesses are operating has completely changed right now. So give your customers a little behind the scenes glimpse at what your day-to-day looks like now. Let them see how it has impacted your daily operations, or maybe where you're able to work or how you're able to work and communicate with your customers. So let me show you a couple examples of some behind the scenes posts specific to the coronavirus outbreak. So this first one comes from Ryan Hall, and I'm going to play this video because it's so adorable. And Ryan is talking about his sales partner, and it goes over to his baby at the laptop. He's showing behind the scenes of what his day is like, trying to do sales calls and trying to do marketing at home with a baby in tow. And this really is the reality for so many people right now. So it's something that people can relate to and they can connect with, and it's just incredibly adorable. So let's look at another example. This one comes from Joe Oliero, and Joe is showing this behind the scenes photo of him doing a virtual happy hour via Zoom. And he's talking a little bit about it, here's my behind the scenes and where are you working at today? So as you can see from those two examples, a behind the scenes post is actually a really easy post to create. It's just a quick photo, talk about where you're working and how you're working. And it's a great post that really connects with your audience because almost everyone is facing a very similar situation right now. And also keep in mind that this doesn't have to apply just to people who work from home. Maybe you are considered an essential employee and you're going to work at a grocery store or a hospital and it's really busy there, it's really chaotic, or maybe you've had to take certain measures to protect yourself or your customers. Take photos of that. What does that look like? Maybe now you are wearing gloves and a mask to stock the grocery shelves where before you never did that. So you could share those photos as well as a behind the scenes post. Okay, let's move on to idea number 7, and that is helpful information. Now, this is information specific to the coronavirus pandemic. And remember not to share personal opinions or information that could be seen as polarizing, political, or offensive. Make sure that you're sharing helpful information to allow people to stay healthy and improve their lives. So let me show you a couple examples of some helpful information posts specifically related to coronavirus. This first example comes from Ryan Weber, and Ryan is sharing an article from the KC Tech Council with a really helpful article of all the different technology resources available for people in the Kansas City area, resources that will help with distance education and running a business remotely. So this is a really helpful post with great resources specific to the situation that we are all facing right now. Now let's look at another example. This next one comes from Gary Logan, and Gary is sharing an article that talks through practical ways to connect with people, and it talks about why connection is so important during the coronavirus pandemic. So the information that he's sharing is very helpful and very timely. And it's also a really easy post to create because you're just sharing out someone else's content. Now, a little pro tip for you to get a little extra exposure to your post, make sure that you tag the original creator of that content that you're sharing. Okay, we're almost through the list. Let's move on to idea number 8, and that is a throwback to a simpler time. Now, this type of post works particularly well on Thursdays because it's Throwback Thursday. So if you post this and you do it on a Thursday, make sure you leverage the hashtag Throwback Thursday for some extra exposure. So let's take a look at an example of a couple throwback posts. This first example comes from reporter Nicole, and in this post she says that she's looking back on a healthier, more social time, and she talks a little bit about missing out on events right now. And I want to show you one more example. This one comes from me. I actually just posted this about 2 minutes ago, and this is a throwback Thursday to one of our Disney trips. Now, the reason I like these throwback posts and recommend them right now is that having images that show people engaging in community with others, attending events, being around people, just living their lives and traveling, it adds some hope. And it allows you to see images of, okay, this is what life was like. It will once again be like this. We can return back to this life that we used to have. Okay, now the 9th and final post idea I have for you to share on social media during the coronavirus outbreak is to thank essential workers. There are so many people working their butts off right now to keep all of us safe and well fed. So make sure you recognize them. Recognize the hard work that they're putting in. So let me show you a couple examples of some Thank Essential Workers posts. This first example comes from Priscilla Wood, and I love this because it is such a simple post. She has a photo of herself, and next to it has just a little image she created, says, "Thank you for your hard work and dedication." And she calls out all the people who are working to keep us all safe right now during the COVID-19 pandemic. And this was just a really easy post to create, and it demonstrates appreciation and gratitude during this time. Now let me show you one more example. This one comes from Train Technologies, and they actually have employees who are essential workers and who are working to make sure that hospitals and grocery stores have working air conditioning and heating solutions right now. And they posted, "Thank you to our production workers and our service technicians." And I love this post because not only are they thanking their employees and they're recognizing their employees, but it's also a reminder to their audience and their followers that, hey, we are here for you. We are working for you. We have employees out there right now keeping you safe. So it kind of has that dual purpose. So those are the 9 ideas I have for you to help navigate the coronavirus outbreak and make sure that you are staying connected with your audience, you're building relationships with them so that when this is all over, you have an audience of raving fans ready to do business with you. So if you liked these ideas, please click the like button below. It would mean the world to me, and leave me a comment. Let me know if you have other ideas that you've tried. Maybe you have some questions or quotes or a funny meme or saying that has worked really well for you. Share it below so that others can benefit from it as well. And then make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you get notified when I publish the next video. Because as I mentioned, right now I'm taking a break in my 100 Post Ideas video series. So if you liked this video, you will love all the other videos I have with all the other post ideas for you. So I have a link to that playlist of the 100 Post Ideas videos that's down below in the description. Or you can head over to angiegensler.com/cheat sheet and you can download a free cheat sheet of all 100 post ideas. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you and your family stay safe and healthy through this pandemic and we can all get through this together. Have a great day.